Speaker Nancy Pelosi calling for articles of impeachment this week as the House Judiciary Committee gets set to hold another impeachment hearing Monday. Joining me now, two GOP members of that Judiciary Committee who are outraged by what the Dems are doing. House Freedom Caucus Chairman Andy Biggs and Congressman Louie Gohmert. Congressman, thank you both for being here. I'm going to start with a question that I have based upon what the Vice President just said, and I thought it was very interesting that he said that impeachment isn't necessarily a foregone conclusion. I'll start with you, Congressman Biggs. What do you think of that?
Well, I think he makes a valid point. They're running off the cliff as fast as they can, but the 31 people in contested districts are trying to pull back. So if there's an exit ramp, I think they would try to take it. We'll see how this goes tomorrow in our hearing, but that's where we are. He may be right, but it's going to take a real strong showing by the American people to help push it back as well.
And Congressman Gohmert, what do you think? Is it a foregone?
I agree with Andy, and yes, I think there is a chance that it wouldn't go through. Judge, if you look at what she said earlier this year, she made clear this was not something she wanted to do. She understands she'll help reelect Donald Trump for a second term if she pushes it to a vote, because she always gets the vote she wants. Like Obamacare, she got people to vote for it that knew they would not be back if they voted for it, and she got them to vote anyway. So there's still a chance that they may decide they don't want to help reelect Donald Trump, but the left side of her caucus is pushing her so hard, it's probably going to happen.
AOC and the rest of them seem to have more control than she. I'm going to read you something, gentlemen, that Representative Al Green said. He said there's no, quote, there's no limit to the number of times a House can vote to impeach or not a president. And I think that's fascinating because when you put it together, Nancy Pelosi, in terms of the president, said that the president's actions in appealing or sending some of these issues regarding impeachment to the courts is essentially an obstruction of justice. So you have these two, both of them saying we're going to keep on doing it. They said they do it from day one. Now the president goes to court, and that's obstruction. I mean, how crazy can we get?
You know, well, Judge, that's about as nutty as you can get.
Okay, we'll start with Congressman Biggs. Go ahead.
That's about as nutty as you can get. I mean, Al Green is telling us that you can fail on a vote and completely keep investigating this president. And that's what he's done, actually. He's done this repeatedly. And when Nancy Pelosi says she has love in her heart for everyone, that's love in your heart that Americans just can't afford much longer. I mean, she's striving to take this whole country apart. And that's the outrage of this whole thing.
And Congressman Gohmert, it is. An impeachment is the undoing of a national election, correct?
It absolutely is. And Al Green is right. They could keep having votes and keep, reinvestigating. And like Andy says, I mean, we basically have defeated the impeachment once already when it was all for 2.5 years about the Russia hoax.
Right.
And then here we come back. But we have got to have some people, not only in the Senate but in the House, get the backbone to step forward. I'd requested witnesses at our last hearing. Those have not been submitted. They have to be submitted by our ranking member. And my understanding was, as of the hearing, that our leadership has not submitted a witness list yet. And I think it's critical. We need to be demanding witnesses. We need Sean Misko. We need Abigail Grace.
Well, okay, without getting into the names.
Alexandra Chalupa.
Well, I agree with you.
We need these people.
I absolutely agree with you. But, you bring up an interesting point, and that is the Senate. Now, Senator Lindsey Graham, and I have to give you guys credit. It's been scorched earth with you guys. You have been phenomenal. I mean, Congressman Biggs and the Congressman Gohmert. I mean, you've done great in the congressional hearings in the House, but now it's going to the Senate. Senator Lindsey Graham has asked, will you subpoena the telephone records of Intel Committee Chair Adam Schiff the way they did of Devin Nunes? You know what his answer was? That ain't going to happen. All right, that isn't going to happen. All right, and then as I read what some of these senators are saying, it looks like if it does get to the Senate, that, you know, we're not going to make this a long process. You've got Graham and Thune and Langford and a whole bunch of them. We're only going to put in what's necessary. Do you get the sense that they don't have the hunger that you guys have?
They are in the what used to be called the Gentleman's Club. And no, it's just more laid back, and you don't want to ruffle any feathers. But the trouble is they're playing destruction, wreaking havoc on our country. And one little correction, and I rarely would ever even dream of doing this. You said we were inflicting a scorched earth policy. Judge, it's those that have been making ashes out of themselves on the other side that have been the scorched earth.
No, look, I agree with you there. I mean, you guys have fought like hell for the president.
They've been
How's
total
that?
ashes.
Real fast, Adam Schiff says in the New Yorker, the president doesn't give an whatever about what's good for the country. It's only about what's good for Ukraine. It's all about what's in it for him personally and for his reelection. Congressman Biggs, last word. What do you think of the congressman saying that about the president?
Well, he's as inaccurate there as he was about the Russian delusion. And the fact of the matter is we've got more people working than ever before. We've got 7 million new jobs. We've got the military rebuilt. This president has kept his promises. He's the most pro-life president in history. And I'll tell you what, Adam Schiff really says it all the time, and it's rarely true, whatever he says.
Well, and finally...
Well, he's projecting he projects what he thinks and what he's doing on the president, and that's been the problem with this whole thing. So whatever he says about the president, that's what he's been thinking and doing himself.
All right, Congressman, thank you so much for being on Justice Tonight.
Pleasure to be with you, Judge.
Thank you.